Audible? Can you hear me? Can anyone please confirm? Yeah, hi Shravani, hi Damodar. All good, weekend Saturday class. I know a little difficult. Yes, even we are taking Saturdays, huh? Also syllabus is not completing, right? Still a lot of things are to be discussed. I don't know how people will complete in 45 days. Even it's been 2 months, still I'm not. We haven't complete. No areas. Anyway, most if I pull up socks, things. Okay, okay. Any questions on VPC peering? Any questions on VPC peering? Anyone? I can say one thing is from this batch, I learned one thing. I have it should, you know, to draw architecture by using IO. I can say one thing. My voice is correct. Now it is fine. I switch it to different network. Yeah. So what I'm saying, I learned good thing from this batch. So I habituate to draw the architectures and draw IO platform instead of paint. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Now. So let's discuss the point VPC endpoint. So VPC endpoint. So by using this, by using endpoints, we can connect services internally without internet. This is the main agenda of VPC endpoint. So I'm taking an example now, the use case where we can use VPC endpoint. So now let's log in. Okay, let's understand the concept of endpoint. VPC and more you want to know? Okay. See guys, VPC and more concept is automate concept, but don't stick on this process anyway. So let's create a VPC. VPC and more concept. I'm explaining, someone is asking here. So already by seeing the VPC and more, you can see the here like a layout of your subnets and all, route table connection and all, network information and all. So now, for example, by using this is not related to endpoint. So by using VPC and more, if I create now, by default, two availability zones it will take, two public subnets, two private subnets, NAT gateway is not allocated. These will be created automatically. You no need to do anything. Simply if I create one VPC, two public subnets, two private subnets, one internet gateway attached, route table attached, this is the layout will be created. VPC name is project I have given, right? You can give anything, for example, dev. So dev VPC will create. Under 4 subnets will create, 2 public subnets, 2 private subnets. So taking 2 availability zones for high availability zone. 1A inside, 1 public subnet, 1 private subnet, 1B inside, 1 public subnet, 1 private subnet. So route table also will create. Route table, public route table for public subnet association, private route table for private subnet association. And one internet gateway also created and add edit routes. Everything will be created. Just single click. But yeah, same concept. What concept we discuss here? But the thing is, guys, here one thing. Here, tenancy default only. By default, it will take dedicated means it will take some specific actions again here. So I don't have any dedicated things, right? Default. But here, if you can stick on this process, now guys, you don't know what is route table, you don't know what is internet gateway, how to route, how to add the routing and all. If you stick on the automatic process, the subject in-depth knowledge, you won't get it. That's what I'm not discussing, this kind of concepts. Even in real time, you won't get chance to work on the develop a infrastructure from the scratch like this. Maybe only our requirement may be create one subnet like that. This is end-to-end process, not like a bits and pieces process. End-to-end process, one VPC subnets, router, and everything will create. Okay, the concept is clear. For example, you know how to do manually and all. You don't have time. If you want to practice any application deployment, go for VPC and more create. Automatically route tables will create, 2 public subnets will create, 2 private subnets will create. For example, if I change the availability zone 3 will create. See, 2 1A, 2 1B, 2 1C, high availability. For example, if I click only one availability zone, 1 1 1 will create. 1A availability zone public, 1A availability zone private, like that. So number of public subnet one, number of private subnets one, like that we can change automatically. That will be take care. If you want to customize subnet CIDR also we can give. Otherwise, system will take the CIDR. You just give the VPC CIDR. Remaining everything will take care by your system only. This is VPC and more. Clear? I'm not creating. Again, I need to delete everything. Time taking process. Actually, the process is what first create a internet gateway attach VPC manually, right? So this is alternate process, but go for manual process only for better idea, better knowledge. Once you get a knowledge and all, then go for this operation for quickly create. This is VPC. Okay. Okay. Hmm. So I'm taking now a new concept, endpoint. So endpoint, VPC. This is also a very important concept, guys. VPC endpoint. The requirement is, for example, guys. Yeah. So I'm taking one VPC. Focus, guys. Focus here. Yes, S3 is part of VPC or outside of VPC? Tell me anyone. S3 is inside of VPC or outside of VPC? S3 is inside of a VPC or outside of VPC? Outside of VPC. The reason we are not selecting while creating S3, we are not selecting any VPC information, right? Okay, this is S3 bucket. So public EC2 I'm taking here. Sorry, not public EC2. There is no concept public EC2. So this is my EC2 instance, guys. Let me take this one for better clarity. Now, this EC2 is public. From here, focus what I'm trying to say. From here, I want to access S3. What and all I need to take care. EC2 inside, I want to copy the file from here to S3 or copy the file from S3 to EC2. Prerequisites are what? What and all need to take care. Very good, Raj. Very good. Create IAM role be off of EC2 and give permissions for guys and yeah, okay, let me finish. So create IAM role we have a EC2 and give permissions for S3. Then EC2 is able to authenticate for S3. Understand? Authenticate for S3. What I'm trying to say, authentication process. But how the request will travel first to authenticate? Okay, once request is travel only, that will be authenticate, right? But how the request will travel here to here? Tell me, how the request will travel here to here? This is public EC2. What? Lambda. Yes, don't go other services. Here I'm talking about EC2 and S3. Please. To copy the file from EC2 to S3, Lambda is required. Why Lambda? Tell me, how the request will go here to here? Is there a routing concept for S3? Route table your guys are saying no, right? How the request will travel here to here? The command is what? AWS S3 CP command. Source file target bucket name. If I run this command, how the request will travel? Source file here to here it will go. How? Copy command. Okay, any copy command, how it will work? Here to here. Keys are authentication, but request should travel here to here and then authenticate, right? How the request will travel here to here? How the request will travel EC2 to S3? Why peering concept? There is no VPC concept for S3, then why peering? When we can use the peering? Two VPCs. Here only one VPC is there. How the request will travel? By using VPC endpoint. Okay, if there is no VPC endpoint, how the request will travel? Route table concept is not there for S3 to attach route table. Very good, Nitin. Internet. Internet gateway. So EC2 able to access internet from external, or external also able to access EC2 by using this gateway, right? By using this gateway. I'm not explaining again route table concept here. EC2 to internet gateway request will go through route table only, but I'm not explaining here. Again, the request will go here, 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 and like that. Shit. It is not working. Wait. Yeah, freehand line, but this will get a better clarity, right? That's what I'm using. Anyway. Okay. I'm using freehand line kind of things. So the request will go to this is not endpoint, this is gateway. And now, so from here to here, that this will access to S3. So what we can understand, request will go out and connect S3 and again return back and enter inside the EC2. This is public EC2, so that, okay, using internet gateway easily access. Now, understand, if my instance is private, this time how the request will now from this EC2 to access S3, how it is possible now? This time now? Very good. NAT gateway. So the NAT gateway request, yeah, the NAT gateway request will work like this. So let's take a subnet. Oh, it is not taking. So the NAT gateway place in public subnet so that we can access internet. Even at even NAT gateway request also go to internet gateway only, right? From the NAT. Even NAT gateway request also go to internet gateway only from the NAT. That we know, right? But I don't want to use NAT gateway public subnet concept. Is there any process? Yes, the process is there. VPC endpoint. This is third option. By using VPC endpoint, this EC2 directly connect S3. This is called complete private connection. Private internal connection. Even NAT gateway also, the request is redirecting into through internet gateway. So for this process, not required in internet gateway, not required in NAT gateway. Directly we can access S3 bucket. Clear now? The concept is first we should understand the concept so that how to we can think later. Like the VPC endpoint importance, you got it. Private server to access S3 without using internet gateway and NAT gateway. The request will travel here to here. Very good, Venkatadri. He's saying that, Venkatadri is saying that it is a recommendable for cost saving. We can recommended VPC endpoint instead of NAT gateway. 100% true. What Venkatadri is saying. If your private EC2 want to access S3, no need to create an NAT gateway and these many things. Directly enable endpoint and connect S3. Cost saving, cost optimization, cost optimization. Cost optimization. Clear the concept now? So you tell me, and the same concept, guys, I will explain different way, not in different way. Now public EC2, private EC2, both are same VPC, right? Now here is my laptop. So you can access public server and then private server. This is bash and host process, right? For example, this private EC2, we can't connect directly, right? To access here to here S3. Okay, so I want to copy the file here to here. First, how to log in this server? Private EC2 instance, how to log in this server? Tell me. How to log in private server through bash and host. Clear now? through bastion host, enter here. Through endpoint, you can access here. Understand the flow? Here to here, here to here, here to here. Or here to here, here to here, here to here, access. Second way. Let me add a number so that you will get a clarity. This is, you can do like that, or you can use NAT gateway, second method. So for cost optimization, first method is good. VPC endpoint concept is good. Okay. Now to do this activity, what and all required? Like that, we need to understand and start the process. And guys, please don't depend on PDF notes and all. That is not recommended. This is not like inter and 10th class to share the PDF notes and by heart the content and all. It's not at all like that. Just understand the concept. Write in your book in understanding way. In interview also they may ask what is the use of endpoint means. You are not supposed to say Google definition. Explain what is VPC endpoint, which use case you have applied in your training. Then only they can understand you are not a, you are from like, real-time background person. Okay. Tell me guys, now to do this activity, what handle required from my end? So to do this activity, what handle required from my end? Tell me quickly. What are you thinking? Yeah. First, okay, network is required. Next. Networking, 2 EC2 instances. Yes, 3. VPC endpoint. Now for suppose my public instance there in different VPC, my private instance there in different VPC. In this case, how to achieve this concept? Very good. Between enable peering and then enable VPC endpoint. Very good. Let's go. Do this activity now. So my end, should be created on able to delete. Okay. So I'm deleting a peering connection. Yeah, correct. Okay. So let's understand. Yeah, private subnet also there. So this is the VPC 0B2. You can see the layout. My end, these many subnets are there. Any private subnet is there? Let's go and check. Yeah, this is private subnet. So here I can create a one instance. Okay, I'm creating EC2. I'm creating a public EC2 for bash and host. And this key yesterday already downloaded it. So I'm taking same VPC. So this time I'm taking which one is public, which one is private. Let's check the VPC first. So this is public EC2 0B20. 0B20 inside any private subnet is there. Okay. Let's create a subnet. All are public only. We create one subnet, private subnet. In this case, we need to check. This is CIDR, right? The next range CIDR, let's check the ChatGPT and take it. I think 64 we can take it. Next range. I think 64. Yeah, 64. I'm taking this one for next subnet. Or you can create new VPs and also you can do it. So I'm creating a now one private subnet. That's what I'm taking this. And inside this default VPC, I'm giving here this one. Subnet name is private. Lab. And give next range. Already 64 also there in my 8 subnets are there, right? That's what I'm taking next range. 80. Let's check 80. Okay. Then in this case, check the list of subnets. This is a little difficult job to find out existing default VPC subnets. Yeah, 80 also there. Okay, let's go for next range. I think after 80. No, I'm taking existing VPC, right? So that 96, yeah, correct. Let's go to the 96. So 96 is not there. 32, 64, 16, 32, 84, 48 is there. So let's go for 90. 96, sorry. $20. And this is workout. So creating a private subnet inside default VPC. So now I'm going to launch a server here. So let me launch first public server, public EC2 inside default VPC, default subnet. existing security group, default one. Let's launch a server. Public key set is running now. Here this is creating. Let's create a. Okay, public key set is creating. Let's create a private EC2 also. Using same key pair. But here, same VPC, but subnet, you can take this one, private one. Existing security group is same. Launch instance. So two servers are created, right? The next is what? S3 bucket. Let's go to S3 bucket. Even we no need to run copy command, just S3 ls command is enough, right? AWS S3 ls command, you are able to get the list of buckets. Enough. Access means anything, not only. Yeah. So let's go to now. Now connect a public server. Right, it's taking much time. It's creating these instances. So connecting public EC2. Now from here to private EC2, how to access? Through SSH, right? Even this connect public EC2, you can connect from local laptop by using MobiXterm tool and all, or directly you can access. So from here to here, how to access private EC2? By accessing the endpoint, right? This is private EC2. SSH client. Paste. Yeah, correct. So not possible, right? Why? So I need to be add first no such file directory. I need to be add a key. The key name is same name I should give. Bash and host server inside. I'm going to be copy the public key of the private server. Sorry, private key of public server, private server. Let's go to here. This is the key yesterday already. Copy, paste. Then again run this command. Chmod 400 permission. Okay. So now, if we're an AWS first, before that, I need to be add a role, right? AWS S3 ls command if you run configure keys, yeah, configure keys command will come, but we are not supposed to configure keys. Directly we can attach role, IAM role for private instance. Okay. So now we can connect. Just wait, guys. Okay. Let's go to again run AWS S3. See, this time and I'm unable to connect. Why? See, my request is just simply hang. See, unable to connect, right? Private server, there is no NAT gateway. So no internet. Exactly. So you can exit from here. Now again, you are inside of the public EC2 instance. From here, if you can try, let me add a first IAM role for public EC2 instance also. Okay, let's run AWS S3LS command from S3. I'm able to list the buckets. Why? From public EC2, I'm able to list the buckets. Why? How I'm able to list the buckets? How it is possible from public EC2? IAM role is different, guys. IAM role is authentication. First, your request should travel S3, right? For that, internet is there. Yes, internet is there. This is public EC2. As I said, request will travel. Yeah. Request should travel public to internet gateway to S3. But private, there is no internet gateway and there is no endpoint. Then how it is going to be accessed? There is no NAT gateway, there is no endpoint. So not possible, right? We have a two ways. By using NAT gateway, request will go here and here and here. But this is a little expensive. For access the file, just simply go for endpoint process. So let's go and create an endpoint now. So VPC endpoint. When this is created, okay, I'm creating an endpoint now. So you can give anything, VPC to S3 name. So here AWS services, after open the endpoints, AWS services, give here S3. S3 we have these are the endpoints. So you have to select interface endpoint. Sorry, gateway endpoint. Okay. S3 gateway endpoint. Then select which VPC is going to be accessed, default VPC. So when you create automatically route table inside with respect to endpoint details will be updated. But in the VPC peering concept, we need to be adding the route tables, right? But VPC endpoint, no need to add any route table, 8 routes and all that will be managing by automatically by endpoint service. See, I'm going to be now. So here, if you want to give specific actions instead of full access, only custom actions by using this endpoint, we can provide by using policy. You know, right? I'm giving full access. See, endpoint is created. So this VPC route table is there, right? This route table and just click on this manage route table. So this is the route table, right? Click on this route table, click on the route table. Why it is not updated? Yeah, endpoint S3 only. Let's try now. I don't think it will work. If it is not work, we can do it. Now you are inside of private instance. Yeah, correct. It's not working. Let's go to VPC endpoints. This is let's write route table is not updated. Click here. Now route table is added. Just wait. I'm going to checking now. Still here it has to be endpoint details has to be updated in the route table actually, but it is not updating. Let's refresh again. Yeah, now it is updated, right? Now you can check. See, from the private server, I'm able to access now. Say internal route table. Route table inside internally updated. You can see with respect to peering. This is peering now. Sorry, endpoint information updated inside the route table automatically. Okay, let me show you. One more time. Create endpoint. Just I'm giving again. VPC endpoint S3 like this. AWS services. Come and give S3. Enter. So select the gateway. Gateway endpoint. Only S3 gateway endpoint. Not express and output and all. Only S3 gateway endpoint. And select a VPC. Which VPC inside you are able to connect. And select the which route table here. So without select route table, it won't work. And then create endpoint. So before case I haven't selected route table. That's why it is not updated. See, once it is created, check the route table. See updated route table here. It should be updated here. When you can open this route table, you are able to see endpoint information here. Then you are able to access now. Clear endpoint processes. So your work is today, after done endpoint, you just remove this endpoint and access through NAT gateway. That already we have done before classes. NAT gateway. If you know already, you can ignore. It's a chargeable, right? NAT gateway. If you know the process, you can ignore. If you don't know, practice it. So NAT gateway create and update subnet association. And when you run AWS S3LS, the request will travel navigate internet and access like this. Our endpoint like this is expensive. This is cheap one. Clear endpoint, and your instance is in different VPC. First create a peering and then create endpoint. No NAT gateway, right? First of all, my instance there is no NAT gateway. Okay. Yeah. So that's all for endpoint information. So take a screenshot, otherwise I will share this. EKS is Kubernetes. Kubernetes as a DevOps tool. Yeah. I hope you guys are clear, right? So yeah, can we connect EC2 without VPC endpoint? Answer your question here, first of all. Can we connect to EC2 without VPC endpoint? Sorry, I'm unable to understand the question. Yeah, RDS S3 also can access. What is difference between gateway and interface? Gateways target to some specific service. Interface endpoint, there is a ENA concept, the background VPN and all. There we can create, but we are using gateway endpoints only most of the cases. ENI, so background network interface is there. There we can use. Can we directly store and access file private to S3? That's what we are doing now, right? By using S3 endpoint. Clear? Any questions? Can we connect all the services? Means Rani, which services? VPC inside any service is there that will be access. This is VPC endpoint, right? VPC inside services we can. VPC inside services are what? S3. Sorry, VPC inside services are what? EC2, right? Yes, lot of things are there. It's very difficult to explain all the concepts, VPC lattice and all. Lot of concepts are there. 250 plus services are there. So which services comes under DevOps and cloud only we are focusing here. If I explain each and every service, it will take 5 months of time for cloud. It's been already 2 months. When we can start DevOps, when we can start GCP, when we can start Azure. If you are going to be focused other services, by self-learn is very important, right? If you are important to VPC lattice, what it is, you can start self-learning with help of this 2 months of knowledge. That's what, see, for example, now guys, I know these concepts only. If I get a project, there is some dependencies there. You need to learn that service. You need to learn self-learning only. If you open the console now, guys, here, you are able to see here. If I open console, lot of things are there. No need. What is carrier gateway? Not required to understand, right? If you focus here, you need to spend 2 days here, 2 days here, 2 days here. When we can complete the course? These are the important things in the real time. What are concepts I discussed from the last 6 to 7 years? I'm working on these services only. Important services. By seeing and everything here, if you ask everything, very difficult to understand, right? Very difficult to discuss also. If you are really interested, then go through the self-learning. Now you guys are not a freshers. Experienced people you are. If you practice well, not 2 months, that which is equal to 2 to 3 years experience. If you practice well. Are you clear this endpoint concept, VPC endpoint concept? See, lot of things are there in VPC. network teamwork will work few things. They are implementing a lot of things every day. Not possible to not possible to understand. Even I too don't know. If you ask, for example, here, what is mirror targets? I too don't know. A lot of things are there in the, even if you open in your mobile now, guys, we don't know all options in mobile, right? Same here also. I don't know in my Apple mobile the all options. I know only the regular activities. Yeah. So guys, if you are clear, I will move to the next concept, the endpoint concept. If we have a multiple VPCs, what is this question? If we have multiple VPC, we can use only one S3 bucket or multiple. Guys, first we have to understand very important thing. Multiple VPCs means what is your requirement first? Which service is going to be connect your S3 bucket? That service VPC only we are enabling endpoint. All instances is not going to be connect S3, right? The requirement will come. When the requirement will come, when the requirement will come, you can create endpoint. Before that, my end 6 VPCs are there. No need to create 6 VPCs as endpoints, right? When the requirement will come, you can. That's it. But your instances are running inside VPC only. Multiple VPCs, multiple instances also run inside the same VPC, right? That will be connect S3 endpoint automatically. The route table is attached for VPC level. It will be applicable for all the subnets. Different region means what we can do. Different region means we have to create a VPC peering, right? Cross region. That VPC to your VPC. If endpoint is already attached for one VPC, you can do it. Otherwise, you can open different region VPC. Endpoints are region specific, right? So I have created United States. Endpoint is your VPC is in Mumbai. You can create endpoint in Mumbai only, not North Virginia, right? Endpoints are not global. Yeah, exactly. Then see, we have to see the difference requirement from the source and not target end. Requirement comes from EC2, then create endpoint. But you guys are thinking for endpoint level. When the endpoint will create, when the source is created, right? When the source, where the source is located, there the endpoint will create. Yeah. So this is endpoint concept, guys. So let me delete the private server. No concept is there. Certificate manager. Okay, guys, now you can see this is my public server. Let's connect, already connected right here. So, okay, ls. Let me install Nginx here. So, systemctl start Nginx. Now, if I access this, I'm able to see the Nginx page, right? This is taking HTTPS, now HTTP access. Yeah. But I want to access HTTPS. So let's go to the Route 53 here. Go to hosted zones. So this is my hosted zone. So here, if you can see, if I create a already records are there, some records. Anyway, same name, there is no records. Okay. I will discuss, guys, private hosted zone. I will discuss at the time of project discussion. Now, Monday onwards, we need to start a project discussion that YouTube is available, right? So we have to start that. So I'm creating a record. You know the process, right? How to create a record and all. So record created. Now if you can access narni.co.in. It will take time. It is creating a record, right? So can anyone try? Are you able to access or not? .co.in. This is HTTPS. It is taking. Okay. Why it is taking HTTPS? Try HTTP. Working HTTP. This is my office laptop, guys. That's what HTTP may be not accessible. Better. So you just try in your laptop like this. Let me know able to access or not. Share into Telegram group. HTTP is not working. Why? Try others, please. Okay, got it. Working, what I did here. Okay, let's go to the Route 53. Mr. John. Oh, sorry. I mistakenly created a edit record. Sorry, it's my bad. Now you can try. It will work now. Yeah. I don't know my end why it is not working. Maybe my end HTTP is restricted. It's taking automatically HTTPS only. Okay. So now how to enable HTTPS? How to enable HTTPS? So certificate manager, right? So we have to open certificate manager here. Yeah, correct. Certificate manager. This is there is a process SSL or TLS process. Secure socket transport layer secure. By using this, we will get a HTTPS protocol. So first go to request a certificate. So here my certificate I'm going to give narni.code. This domain I'm going to enable a certificate. narni.code.in. How it will be validated certificate manager? Here when you create a certificate, that will redirect into Route 53 public hosted zone. See, this is pending validation, right? So you need to be create a Route 53 record here. So that request will go to Route 53 record. Your narni.code.in already validated before, right? That will be, see, when you create a record in Route 53, click on this here. Your request directly go to Route 53. Here it will create. Okay, let me show you. Let's create a certificate. Create record. That's it only. So from the certificate manager, give your domain name and create a record. So certificate manager is validate your domain name and it will provide a HTTPS authentication process, access process. How this system will work? This is pending validation, right? Wait for some time. Yeah, just now created CNAME record. See, automatically created. This is from certificate manager. Now you can go and check, refresh here. See, it's shown now, right? Now you can access. HTTPS try your end. Maybe my end is cache issue. Let me access from my mobile. Yeah, my end is working. My mobile, it is working in my mobile. Anyone? Not working your end. Why? It should work. Someone are saying working, someone are saying not working. This is cache only. You can check other windows, any other different engine. It is confirming that it is working. HTTPS. Harshad also saying working. Okay. So if one person working means it is working only. Other end, maybe my end also, maybe the cache issue, the restart and maybe it will work. So now this certificate here also will work. You don't worry. This certificate will protect, the security, what are the things, threats, and it will be enabled HTTPS only. HTTPS means Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, right? Instead of the request will travel plain text, it will go on the encrypted format. How HTTPS will work? Validate your domain inside the certificate manager. Okay, let me show you one more time. I'm deleting a certificate. Click on the request. Next, give your domain name here. So guys, you can give fully qualified domain name, or you can give like this also. star.narni.co.in. If you give like this, in Route 53 subdomain also you are creating, right? Subdomain. So it will, this certificate is validated for subdomain also. Any domain, it will be validated for HTTPS. Or if you can give narni.co.in, only one domain is validated for HTTPS. If you want to create any subdomains, api.narni.co.in, frontend.narni.co.in, it won't work. If you give here star, will record, this will record like work, any in place of will call, any name will come, it will support like that. So request, just only give your domain name and request only. After that, create a route to the record. Otherwise, how certificate manager is validated this is your domain or not? So by Route 53 is going to be validate and confirm that this is your domain only. Route 53 records already you exchanged into your where the domain is registered, right? So like that it will be validated. CNAME record already there my end. So yeah, issued. Let's try one more time my end. No, my end is. So this domain name is validated. This domain name is HTTPS is validated. The record, whatever record you are going to be create, that will be enable HTTPS. So here my record is server only, right? So that we work server. Here my record is server. Let's wait. Here my record is server. You can give load balancer alias record also. Your load balancer is able to access HTTPS. Okay, I'm deleting record. Clear now? How certificate manager will work? Just provide a SSL certificate. So practice these two classes, VPC endpoint and certificate manager. Yeah, you need to create from the certificate manager. This will be click on, once you click, automatically create, don't notate anything. Once you click here. Okay, this will be validate. This is your domain name only for validation purpose. Otherwise, I can give google.com also here, right? So that's it. So practice certificate manager and VPC endpoint. We'll start project on Monday. Sorry, after Linux, we'll start a project. After 4 or 5 Linux classes, we'll start a project. Then you will get a clarity where we can use a certificate manager and the peering concepts and all. Okay. So today you can practice certificate manager and endpoint. Any questions? Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the update. So if you are clear, please give CC so that I can understand this. Thank you for your response. Bye bye, guys.